Robert, you did a pretty good job at the doing yourself C-section. So what kind of an experience was that scene?
I mean, when you watch it in the movie, it looks so sort of extreme and like graphic, but I think doing it was really funny. I mean, I was just doing it with a dummy of Kristen and of Bella, and kind of not really knowing what to do. I mean, obviously I've never performed a C-section before, and then trying to do it with your mouth. We had a midwife and a doctor who I was trying to ask, how would you attempt to do this? And they're like, it's impossible. I'd have no idea what you're talking about. So yeah, it was kind of fun.
So how did you prepare then? Did you watch videos or visit a hospital?
No, I mean, again, we had this doctor who came in, but I mean, hopefully no one will be trying to do that at home afterwards. I can imagine some Twilight fans being like, that's how I want to have my baby. I want to have a C-section from someone chewing. Some poor husband's going to have to do that somewhere in the world.
Hope not. In Rewatch, you get to do all the fun stuff as well. You make love to the girl, and you're allowed to smash a bed while having sex. So how much fun was that?
Yeah, it was fun. I mean, it's kind of, especially when you have an entire sequence in a movie saying how great you are in bed. It's kind of, you can never really, that's definitely not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing in any world, I don't think.
So how much pressure does that put on you?
I mean, it's not pressure. I mean, it's pressure on everybody else. I mean, I just kind of did my thing. And, then hopefully people will believe it.
I heard you did so well that Bill Condon had to cut out some scenes. So how hot was that stuff he cut out, really?
I mean, I don't think Bill really wanted... It wasn't like anything was crazy or anything. It's just the ratings classification board. I mean, they just have very strange requirements about things. You can't show... You can show, like, bum cheek, but you can't show a crack and stuff. Like, it gets kind of ridiculous, and certain noises are regarded as too much, and so you had to deal with that. But I mean, I don't think it's that different, really.
How comfortable do you feel generally doing that kind of scenes? I mean, it's kind of intimate, and there's a bunch of people watching.
I mean, people think it's much more uncomfortable than it is, but really you have hardly anyone on set, and it's everyone else, generally, the crew is more uncomfortable because they don't really want to, no one really wants to watch, just be in a place. I mean, they don't want to make you feel uncomfortable. But really, it's kind of easy. I mean, you just sort of, there's very, very, no one puts any pressure on you. And normally, there's so many time constraints on scenes and stuff, and so there's all these different pressures. I mean, people are so scared that the actors are going to feel uncomfortable in sex scenes that there's loads of time to do everything, and there's no one around, there's no monitors or anything, so it's actually kind of easier in a way.
What do you think is the difference if you have been knowing a person for a long time, like Kristen, and you have shot already some movies together, or if you do that on the very first day of shooting? I
mean, there's really not much of a difference. I mean, unless you really, really don't like each other, like, it's kind of, it's always kind of silly pretending to have sex with someone. You just sort of, like, I mean, I did this movie after called Cosmopolis, where there's like 3 sex scenes in it, and every sex scene was with the actress, and I met them that day, like, really weird. I mean, I was doing a scene with Juliette Binoche, like, the first time I ever met Juliette Binoche in my life, and she's one of my favourite actresses in the world, and within an hour of meeting her, we had to be pretending to have sex. It is a kind of strange experience.
For the first time, you show a lot of skin in the movie, so everybody kept on talking about Taylor's abs, so how much pressure was that for you to work out?
It's kind of pressure, but then as soon as you realise that, like, Taylor's been working out for like 2 years, and he doesn't drink beer or anything, so it's kind of... it's so much easier for him. I got really into it for about a month, and then as soon as it got closer to shooting, and I realized, like, my abs aren't as big as Taylor's, and I just kind of thought like, oh, it's not worth it. I'm just going to eat cheeseburgers again.